Hello. I was watching a video by a YouTuber named Agent of Doubt. He was commenting about a female video maker named Jacqueline Glenn, who has been known to plagiarize frequently. But first, before I discuss this particular video, a separate commentary by a YouTuber named Sufferthorn described his method of finding Glenn's plagiarism, which was interesting and quite amusing. He said, "So how do you catch Jacqueline Glenn plagiarizing? Simple. Go to any view of hers on a serious topic, and when she says anything remotely intelligent, Google it." Here's an excerpt from his video.
Listen, if corporations choose to take advantage of the tax benefits that they get for compensating employees with health coverage rather than wages, then they have to meet a certain minimum standard. So whenever you hear these religious freedom arguments from corporations, they're pretty much saying they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want it both ways. They want all the tax benefits without providing full benefits to their employees.
Returning to the present discussion, Agent of Doubt's video had a discussion about Jacqueline Glenn's plagiarism, and he said something which I've been trying to put into words for a long time. It's a situation which I think lends support to my idea that women act self-destructively when they have a feeling of safety, something I call the bubble effect. Watch this.
Okay, first of all, as an aside, I just want to say that when Jacqueline Glenn highlights that theoretical bullshit is her friend, and therefore it's more okay for her to be inspired by him, I disagree. I think that your friends are the people that you don't copy from.
So here's the basic idea. Women have internal relationships, that is, relationships with people in the bubble of safety. They have husbands and boyfriends, children, friends, and then they have external relationships, associates, work colleagues, but these are people they don't really feel completely comfortable with. They wouldn't tell someone that they have a loose association with that they are having scandalous thoughts about Jake in accounting, because they don't necessarily trust that associate. But the internal relationships are different. A woman can trust her inner bubble friends. They feel completely safe with their inner circle. But the interesting thing is that this works both ways. Women also feel free to abuse their inner circle. The trust they have for their inner circle friends is part of the bubble of safety. If a woman trusts you, she is also free to abuse you. If she abuses you, and you hit back or defend yourself, you are now violating her trust, and thus she is free to accuse you, the very victim of her abuse. She abuses you, but you are now somehow in the wrong when you return the favor. See how this works? Being a man, I've always made it a policy that I don't piss off those I like, love, or have a relationship with. I don't want to burn my bridges or hurt those I value. Sometimes, well, I do want to burn my bridges, but in those cases, I'm aware of the consequences of doing so. If you are my good friend, I will not generally punch you in the face, steal your shit, or slash your tires. There's a couple reasons for this. 1. I respect you. You and I are friends, and between friends there is an unwritten code of respect, not afforded to outsiders. It's considered a privilege to have this respect, and I don't risk losing your respect by treating you like shit. 2. I value you. If we are good friends, I value that relationship and don't want to lose it. I'm fully aware that my actions have consequences, and understand that it is reasonable for a good friend to walk away from a friendship if they are abused. And I expect my friends to understand this about me as well. Now, what happens with women? Women respect outsiders rather than insiders. After all, outsiders are threatening. As such, women try to show that they value outsiders, not insiders. Women protect themselves from consequences of the actions they take against people they don't know, and feel free to do anything they wish to people they do know and trust. Women respect those whom they fear. Fear drives a woman's behavior, not love and affection. If a woman is affectionate toward you, she is likely trying to get something from you. If a woman acts nice and tries to earn your affection, realize she is probably afraid of you. Once she is no longer afraid, she is free to tease, hit, and abuse with words and actions as she sees fit. After all, in her mind, there are no consequences for doing so. She's in her safety bubble, and she fears nothing in that space. That's what a safety bubble is. Jacqueline Glenn abused the trust of her alleged friend. Theoretical bullshit. Assuming they were friends, she knew he would never hurt her in response. So in her mind, she was free to steal from him without consequence. In case you didn't know, Glenn copied Theoretical Bullshit's video almost verbatim and attempted a half-hearted apology claiming it was okay to steal from him because they were friends. Now, as you saw in the video I showed you, Agent of Doubt points out that his friends are the ones he tries to avoid copying or stealing from. I think most men would agree that it is their friends whom they treat with the most respect, and outsiders to whom they give less, if any, respect. And why should they? Outsiders have not earned respect, nor shown that they hold one in high esteem. Why respect them? No, it is those we have chosen to award respect, and expect such respect to be mutual. Women, on the other hand, think opposite of this. Women treat unknown outsiders with the highest respect, out of fear. After all, what have they to fear should they harm a trusted friend? A trusted friend will never walk away or return the assault. They have nothing to fear. Thus, their inner circle is a woman's only target of abuse. The bubble effect defines a woman's actions, and those actions can be observed in a woman's daily life. Now understand, it's not that these women despise everyone they have a relationship with. It is the bubble effect. Women are concerned with safety above all else. As long as they're safe in their bubble, they're free to abuse. Or not abuse, let's be fair, and dominate whomever is in the bubble with them. A woman like Jacqueline Glenn abused the trust she had with her friend by stealing his work. Would you, as a man, do this? Maybe. But I imagine you recognize the consequences of your actions. Had you been caught stealing another's work, particularly from someone that you had a trusted friendship with, would you really try to pardon yourself by claiming your friendship is a license to steal? I imagine you would either fall on a plea of ignorance or simply offer a public apology and hope your friendship could be salvaged. But you would at least realize you had given up any claim to the plaintiff's trust. Glenn didn't even consider the above as a possibility. She was, in fact, in her mind, immune to consequence. Indeed, consequences seemed to be irrelevant to her in her half-hearted apology for being stupid and just being a good friend to someone she had just robbed. Now, I'm only using her as one example, but I'm sure many of us can think of women in our lives who act just like this. Women abuse those they have a close relationship with, and work very hard to gain the trust of those they don't. A woman may feel free to hit her husband or boyfriend, to haphazardly punish and abuse her children, but would she do this alone in a locked room with a man she didn't know? I bet she would smile at him and act quite friendly. Women are their most agreeable when they fear for their safety. Make a woman happy, and you're giving her a license to abuse you. It appears to me that the bubble effect is a fundamental part of a woman's psyche. As they say, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. Could this be a woman's standard modus operandi? It would appear so. Ask yourself, why is it that women seem more agreeable when you don't know them? Why wouldn't friendships strengthen a woman's resolve to solidify good feelings with those she swears undying love and affection? Why indeed? Use this concept how you will. I think if you consider the bubble effect and observe a woman in her natural agreeable state, you will notice how she treats her friends more poorly than strangers. Trust for a man means something very different than it does for a woman. Know these principles, men, and be vigilant. Guard yourselves, especially in the presence of a lady. Be aware. That soft velvet sleeve might conceal a dagger. Thanks for listening.